Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Let's get it started. A few minutes, get together, and we are going to jump in. So, good morning and happy Saturday. Okay guys, how are you? Hopefully everybody had a good morning so far. So I was hoping Safi is going to be here and she's going to join because she was eagerly waiting when I started this in the morning, but we might see her later. So where do we start with? Happy birthday Libras, and I wish you all the best, and hopefully you guys had amazing week full of celebrations and full of things looking forward. You're the first sign I'm going to read, and this is going to be the second sign I'm going to read. Really quick rules. I'm going to have in the middle of the way not a single mod showed up yet. Crystal is here, hi. But one of the mods, the main one, Barb, she usually calls midway of our life together, which is usually about hour and a half. And at the end, doors readings. Doors means you can ask a question within yourself, and then you pick the answer, pick the card, and the answer really comes to you. So it's pretty cool. Also for the mods who are here showing up loyally, I will pull the angel cards for them. For the rest of us, I'm going to use thoughts, and I'm going to use love cards, angel romance cards. So let's see where this takes us. So Libra, you are first. Let's start, Libra. Let's see what this week comes through. This is almost like it is finishing your cycle. By the end of it, we are going to be in Scorpio. Hello, CBO Music. Nice to see. Canada is in the house. Awesome. Guys, tell me where you're from. Tell me what sign you are so we get a better idea. And just so you know, for everybody who is live, pretty much every sign can send the messages because it does work differently. So Libra, let's see, what do we have here? This one wants to come through. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So there is like some kind of calculation going on, and let's see 3 cards with this. This one wanted to come through. It's adjustment. This is actually your card, and it came reversed. So there is like something that is really rubbing you a wrong way over here. The adjustment card is always about kind of like putting it right in the balance. You know that your entire sign, hello Knitting Yogi, and there is a Scorpio in the house, so she's like ramping up, like my season is coming through. So for you Libras, this really means that maybe something took the wrong turn, or maybe that you did something in the past that you thought you got away with, and now it's basically coming back to pay the dues. From all the signs in horoscope, in tarot, you're the one who are going to be the most affected with injustices. This doesn't make you more or less human, because we all want to get away with stuff, right? We all want to kind of like make better lives for ourselves. But what it is kind of like very instrumental is that because you're in the sign of the justice, of the balance, that you guys will have to learn that lesson more than anybody else. Just think about it. If you want to be a scout guide, you need to know all the ropes. You need to know all of these ways and everything way better than somebody else. So this is why this is possibly happening. It does make sense that this is happening during your birthday transition. That kind of like can happen. And something is brewing over here that maybe you're looking into how to move further. When I see these finances and career, even though it's saying it's affecting your love life right now, I also think this is somehow connecting to possibly how you're approaching life. Maybe you're coming up with some kind of like new ways of in which direction you really want to go. Good morning, creative girl. We are on Libra. Wow, you're having a 2 basically karma cards. Ace of Swords is the card of victory, and it's very connecting. They're both very much air signs. Air signs are words. Air signs is like the direction. So it almost looks like that something is going to happen. You pay these karmic dues and off you go. You're moving forward. Hello Barbie, she's Libra. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday to Barbie. And guys, if you didn't read, Kylie basically sent me a message that her school resumes, so she cannot be here, but she wants to send her well wishes and love to all the mods. So she's missing you, so that's kind of like good to see. And then it's the Princess of Cups reversed. It's something that is really affecting you. Some maybe injustice that is coming through. You're thinking you're fixing it, but in the end, you're not able to fulfill something. Maybe this something means a partner in your life, because Princess of Cups is generally talking about this gentle flourishing of love. But when it's reversed, it's almost like accomplishing the opposite. Something is not moving forward. This could be your decision. Maybe you feel that somebody is what they call them Klingons. When people, good morning, Chris, good morning, everybody here. Nice to see the mods. Sylvia, how come I didn't make you into a mod? I'm not so sure why. So we're going to change that. There we go. So, well, mods are over here like awesome people, guys. If you're not a mod, it's just kind of like they clean these people who sometimes come to this channel. It happens very rarely, but because I'm reading, they're actually my eyes on the channel. So one kind of like round of applause for them. So Libra, whatever is going to be happening this week, don't take it too much to heart, because this is just a part of this big universal process. It is part of karma, and it's really nothing that you should really worry about. That there's like nothing that, you know, like you should think this is a big deal, but it is a karmic lesson of some sort. And somebody you are with, you need to kind of like reconsider. You need to reconsider this person's action. This doesn't have to be necessarily a lover. It could be somebody who simply is in your view, like I mean, sight line. It could be somebody who is simply kind of like draining you of resources, and that can be like I mean the problem, because that there is like no balance and equality that you guys usually seek. So Libra, we are moving to a next sign, and since I pulled the next sign, it's over here. Thank you, CBO Music. The next one is Gemini, and don't worry about my cough. I did go and check it with my doctor. This is asthma, and asthma pretty much, as you know, doesn't have the cure. I can choose between coughing and steroids, and I don't want steroids right now because of COVID. It would suppress my immune system. So that's the way it is. It's going to get better. All right, so we are going Gemini. Gemini, no deception, and it says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I have something here to say. Oh, I'm not a poor thing. It's just like a cough, guys. Come on. I was really worried it's a COVID, but it isn't, and yay, I'm not going to die. Well, I will eventually one day, but not yet. So let's see. You have Princess of Cups upright. Is somebody coming through to you and kind of like engaging you in a kind of like romantic poetry, bubbly way, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, such a kind of like lovely person, because you guys are very bubbly, you're very genuine, you're kind of like really in love, like this kind of conversation. But be very careful with this person. Look at this, you also have the star, and you see there is like somebody else who doesn't like steroids. That's really cool. And the swiftness. So now it's really weird, because if I were to read this, I would say, yay, fantastic, awesome, off you go, because this really tells me somebody's approaching. Like, look at this, like, look at his big wings, and this looks like so awesome and so kind of like charming. And there's like this hope in this case, like the star is bringing, and it's somebody who is highly communicative. You might be having Aquarius in your life, you might be having a water sign, possibly even fire sign in your life. Lots of things really happening. You also have 2 8s over here. 8 is the, to me, vibration of commitment, vibration of something. We can make it, we can build things together. This is like about expression of love, like everything in the air is buzzing with kind of like all of that stuff. It's kind of like very, very important, very, very fast and flying. But look at what came through first. Now what is really interesting to me are those, it says someone is wearing a mask. Everybody is wearing a mask in this card, everybody. So which means that you approach with somebody who appears to be very lighthearted, very sweet, and nothing wrong about that. You just need to remember and keep in the back of your mind that because of that, you're also not shoving on them all the baggage that you have. They're also not doing it. That's yet going to happen. When it happens, you might not be able to marry those 2 images. So be aware of that, because look at that. They're looking at each other in a completely different way. So it's going to come time of reckoning where you really need to say who you are in order to continue. So that's all you really need to keep in mind. But in the meantime, enjoy this like very kind of like sweet and upbringing kind of like approach. Be open to new people, because that could mean somebody completely new coming through, and enjoy. Hello, Isanuka. How are you doing, sweetie? It's a Mexico in a house. Hi, Natasha. Your cat is sitting in your kitchen saying, "Mom, get a drink." Just turn on the water. She'll be really quickly moving. I have to tell you this. I don't know where Safi today. I guess she's back in the bedroom. Whenever I leave bed, Matrix never leaves bed. I just think he only comes to eat. I mean, I want to be a cat in the next life. It's such a good life. You sleep all the time. You kind of like get pampered. Your bed is really nice. And they tell you you're pretty and you get the best food. How can anything be bad about, what can be wrong about that, right? So, Libra, we just had your readings, so we're going to put it aside. And Capricorn. Well, Capricorn is coming forward this time around. Okay, so let's see. What do we get here? Any Capricorn in the house? I know one. One mod is a Capricorn over here. Okay. Oops. And something came through, and pardon me, I have to go under the table to get it. because it flew all over the place. Oh my gosh, you guys have 4 cards. Didn't expect to crawl under the table. So what do you have? Express your love, pay attention to the red flags, unrequited love, and engagement. Holy moly, all over the place. Does it really talk about few different people? Does it really talk about one person? Because I'm not quite sure in which order they were coming through, right? So all express your love was kind of like facing upwards. That's why I kind of like pull it up first. But this very much could mean that is very last. If I were to really kind of like look at it, I would probably put it this way. That kind of like would start to make sense to me, and I explain when I start to read. So let's see the cards here. Capricorn, chiropractor can help clear up asthma. That's interesting. Well, I find some remedy, and it didn't even exist on Amazon Canada, so I had to go on Amazon.com. And thankfully to Mr. Trump, now this is extremely expensive for us to shop on Amazon.com. Even though I have account, pretty much I was one of the very, very first clients that they actually ever had. And so anyway, I paid an arm and a leg to get those Chinese herbal things. That is actually seemingly helping. Believe it or not, this is better than it was. So that's where you go. So now you have a 9 of Cups. You also have adjustment reversed. Oh my gosh, this is the same thing that Libra had, and except they had Ace of Swords upright. So now this makes me believe it's actually the other way around. That maybe you're like enchanted with someone who may let you down. But this here, it's really talking about that there is a current happiness, there is a flow, you're happy in a situation where you are. I think this last week of Libra, I'm already seeing a pattern, because this is only for a week. And I don't really think in 1 week you're going to go from, hey, red flags, oh my gosh, he or she doesn't love me. Well, anyway, I'm going to tell her, allow her, oh, look, she loves me back, let's get married. That's unrealistic. Mind you, it would be more realistic for Libra, but you're a Capricorn. You're like very solid. You really want to test people. You want to know what's going on. And what's happening here, I'm just showing that nobody is here. Would something happen to my stream for some reason? I'm not sure what's happening. Did it disconnect everybody? Let me just try to refresh, because I'm not seeing any activity whatsoever. There it is. It's showing up now. So I don't know if it's going to reset it or not, but for a moment it was just, that's the Mercury retrograde, guys. Hello, welcome to Mercury retrograde. That's what really happens. I need to fix my computer. I'm kind of like getting tired of Mercury like messing with my computers. So back to Capricorn. There's like something that is happening. Somebody's not telling you the truth. There are some kind of like lies involved. Ace of Swords, I really don't like. With this card here, adjustment, you cannot mess with. That just simply means something is going to happen that is going to rub you the wrong way. And something like that could be legally, could be contract-wise, could be a relationship agreement sort of a thing. This is more or less talking about breaking things apart than putting them together. But sometimes we need to rip things apart in order to set them up properly. Remember that beautiful Tower card, which really talks about it. Okay, like this went too far. This cannot continue anymore. Just rip it apart, make it right. So you need to be kind of like really astute this particular week to who is coming through. Like it's almost like a Trojan horse. Somebody is having these beautiful colors, but it's really not your friend. How this really reacts with all these cards, I really cannot tell, because this I would really need to go in more elaborate reading, and that's what's going to probably be seen more or less in the next upcoming monthly readings. So I'll just pull one more card here, which these cards are for the mods, and so we can kind of like know more from there. Adventure, that's for sure. It's going to be adventure of some sort, and it can be really appealing to you. Also, let me just read to you what these cards say. I don't always go with what these cards say because it sounds too much like I'm in Disney. But this is what it says. The signs are cautioning you. There is not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. It says go ahead, and I read initially dead. No, it's go ahead and make the romantic gesture, and your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So whether it's going to go in this direction or you're going to take kind of like steps to go back and then try to rebuild it, it's yet remaining to be seen. It will be really interesting to hear from you, Capricorns, so I know kind of like which direction it took. So I don't know, Chris, does that sound right? Like this is like freaking all over the place. I don't know what basically happened. Oh, I love you, Barbie, too. It's very, very cute. Creative Guru. I found a supplement called Lung Tonic soft gels from a company called Herbs, and it has been amazing for clearing out bronchitis. So this is what I got. And what is really interesting, if you're a smoker, I was a smoker until I was 30, and it was like one of the stupidest things in my life. The reviews on this ones are amazing. It says support free breathing, keep airways open, and balance mucus levels. And what I really, really liked about it is if you're in America, that's not going to be expensive. It was just 3 times as expensive for me to order it to Canada. But it does really help. And apparently people say if they were smokers, that would clear everything, like all the stuff from smoking. So that is really, really interesting. So let me see. CBO Museum Hobbies Capricorn. He just got a job offer out of nowhere. He has a healthy skepticism. So maybe that's what it is. It's very exciting. And red flags come later when you get to know the people. It's just like any job environment is like unhealthy. I think just having jobs in corporate environment for me, like this is like the least human thing that possibly can exist. And I'm resisting this with every single cell of my being. Okay, so let's see who is next. Who's next here? Sagittarius. Okay, so let's see Sagittarius. Okay, you're at 2222. So you're also getting some kind of message. I was just seeing this whole week 333, 3333. Like it was just like this multiple of threes, three or four threes continuously. So that kind of like means generally you're on the right path. So what right path? What are you talking about? So you have children. Your love life is being affected by children. That's interesting. Interesting. And then you have Princess of Wands. That kind of like would be you along the path. Look at this like tiger. She's carrying through, but it's reversed. And this is definitely a child. So when I see this like children card, to me it doesn't necessarily mean literal child. It definitely could mean this, especially in this combination, that you have a child, especially if it's a female child or somebody younger, kind of like tween or early teen, who's really acting up. And you might have a blended family, and there's like something that is really happening, and now this is really affecting your happiness because clearly you need to tend to it, right? It's not that you have any issues with that, but this also could mean that there's like something regarding our inner child. An inner child is simply meaning, hey, you need to address some needs that maybe you suppressed all your lives. When I kind of like pull those karma cards, there's one card really talking about how sometimes as we grow up, we suppress the needs that we had as children, as juvenile, or, it's not important. And then years later, it really comes and bubbles up to the surface. So that could be something like that here, right? So we will see. We will see. Then you have a Queen of Cups. So this could be a mother and a child, or it could be like if you're male, that there are like clearly issues with kind of like satisfying female parts of your family, right? And keep in mind, you're Sagittarius, you move very quickly. You kind of like are buzzing things. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it doesn't affect you. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't affect you as badly, for example, as the water signs. And it could be that somebody feels really protective about the child. This could be an ex who could be, I don't know, water sign, and you might have a child who is a fire sign, for example. That's one of those combinations. Or it could be simply that somebody is throwing a pity party, because Queen of Cups reverse, she can really throw a pity party. And um, I met a woman in a park who also walks her dog, and she, I would say, is in late 80s. She's from Austria, and she came here when she was very young. So we always deal in Toronto like with bylaw people, and you're not supposed to walk the dog off the leash. So that's why we go to that secluded areas, which basically is the property of Hydro Company, but they still walk into that and find us. So she was telling me how she was an actress in Austria, and she said, I can just turn on crying anytime I want. She said, like, it works every time. You just tell them, oh my gosh, I didn't know, I'm all lost. She said, like, you just play that you have dementia, and then you're good with this. So it was really, really hilarious. So that's kind of like would be the Queen of Cups attitude. But check this out. Then you have the Sun. Like, you are turning things around. Probably this is also about the children. This could be about a male child, or this could be you bringing a little bit more masculine energy, giving kind of like more form. So to me, whenever I see the card Sun, and here like we actually have two creatures or two angels coming through with this like beautiful rainbow, and it's really, really amazing that it's really showing us Libra and Scorpio and Sagittarius. What would this be? I think Pisces, and then we have Aquarius. I think this probably are the all signs spinning around the Sun. That's probably what it's really showing us. This also could mean simply that you're either dealing with a Leo, or you're dealing with Libra, or because we are in this week that is transitioning into Scorpio, or even with Scorpio, which would make sense. So this can talk about growing up and growing up healthier. To me, the Sun card is always very sending a message about boundaries, healthy boundaries, who is in and who is out. So kind of like really you need to think about that as well. So it looks like you're going to manage to kind of like stir it all back on the road, but not before somebody is like becomes very demanding and very much in your face and very much like, I mean, blaming you for kind of like stuff. So you'll be having drama this week, and maybe with children, or maybe with simply with some kind of decisions that you're going to make and saying, look, I'm so tired of this, and how much longer I need to cater to that, and what about me? So it's going to be a really, really interesting week. So what happens here? My mother, she's Sagittarius. That's interesting. Oh, mothers, man, they're so interesting when we are growing up, and then you kind of like look at them differently, right? When you are finally fully kind of adult. Pisces, you're next. Let's see. Pisces. Let's see what we get here for you. You get trust. The situation is calling you to have faith. Okay, let's see what we get here. CBO, I want to retire. It's just like, I mean, this whole pandemic thing is like rupturing through basically the fabric of society. So I was thinking like it would be so nice now. I don't have to worry about it. I can just walk my dog and come here and spend Cutter Day with you. It would be so freaking amazing, wouldn't that be? So let's see this. So sick of people getting all upset because they think I said something I didn't even say. They're just looking for argument, creative guru. Oh my god, like this morning I'm just driving, and there's like the little kind of like a street, not very busy, and there's like this family walking, like it's a guy and obviously his wife and two kids in the middle of the street. Okay, fine, people walk in the middle of the street, but they walk and 1 minute passes by, 2 minutes passes by. So at this stage I'm like, look, I really want to pass. This is being obnoxious, so I kind of like hung the horn just a little bit. The guy turns around, starts swearing and yelling, and I'm thinking, oh my god, these poor children, what a modeling you have. Like, this is like horrifying, right? So anyway, this is a typical misogyny that we start to kind of like experience in North America, and just I really wish a little bit less of that. Who am I reading for? Pisces. Pisces, you have really good cards over here. So you have the universe. This card always assures that you are really on the right path. Something is happening, something is going on in a kind of like really, really good way. This is kind of like couple here with this like Knight of Discs. I think this is like a Knight of Pentacles. There's like something going on. This is possibly a friendship, or you really don't know how to move forward. Somebody's really asking you. You're maybe on the other hand feeling that you need to bide your time, that somebody's not really telling you the truth, because it shows over here contentment is reversed. This is like the proverbial 10 of Cups. But you're soldiering on. You're putting on a brave face, and the problem is like, because the trust card came through, you are really not trusting. And whenever this card comes through, the universe is asking that you trust. The universe is asking that you move forward, right? To me, this is like sort of like a half karma card, and it's really important when it comes through for weekly readings. Why I call it half? Because it doesn't kind of like have the big resonance like the other, like I mean, 4 karma cards that are designated. This one is more or less happening in the moment. So something will be happening this particular weekend, like right out of the gate, where you will need to kind of like really maybe have a conversation or talk to a friend, and maybe this is going to leave you a little bit unfulfilled. Maybe somebody's going to give you their opinion, which not necessarily kind of like is something that you want to hear, but you need to really trust yourself that you're on the right path, that your intuition was right, because remember, you are the intuitive sign. Just because somebody says differently doesn't mean that their nose and their radar is doing better, because if you feel strongly about someone, you need to really continue with that. So you're going to be braving the cold if you wish, and continue, and that's really, really important, because that is what is called and needed in this situation. Let me just shuffle this a little better in so they don't come through. There are people that are showing up, they're there. So let's see, CBO Music says she's in her late 70s, I'm in my 50s. You would think we would be done with drama. No, it gets apparently worse. I don't know, like I think some people mellow when they age, and some people get more grumpy, let's call it, like put a nice word to it. So, yep. Like, I mean, you cannot do much, just let them be. Let them watch the television and find the other company to gossip with, and just stay away from their drama. Aquarians, we are the next in the first half. So, right after that, we are going to have doors, if Barbie didn't already do that. So, Isa is my dear client, just pretty much like most people here. But what is really important about her is that she is an unbelievable strong woman, and she's Aquarius, and like really, really lovely soul, guys. So I know that she didn't really join us much before. I just want to give you a slight introduction, because she's like very modest, but she's like amazing person with a really, really big heart. Just pretty much like everybody who is around here, especially the mods, right? So just keep this in mind. That's what I love about this card today. Like these people, you people here, like I mean, like are so amazing. You come here with this like pure hearts, and everybody's so supportive, and this is like so amazing. It's just like natural. Nobody's like making you be this way, so that's kind of like amazing. So guys, we have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime, really. Let's see that. They get more feisty with age. Yep. Sure. My mom, for example, she decided, she used to be an amazing cook. Oh my gosh, my mom is a Scorpio, and her cooking was amazing. Even though I was the one who knew how to decorate the plates, I was like always quote unquote the designer in the family, in everything, and from interior design to food design. So I kind of like did pick up some cooking, but it's not my forte. But I guess something happened to my mother over the years where she would adding more and more and more salt to the point that my brother couldn't stand it anymore, didn't want his kids to eat it anymore. And my mom got very upset with him. Instead of her modifying kind of cooking when the kids stay with her, she just insisted that's the way it is. I don't know, maybe she just doesn't have the proper taste anymore. That could happen with age as well. So we have worry, and we have 5 of discs here. Why do we worry, guys? What is the worry? It almost like sound like, I mean, a touch of a depression possibly here. So let's see what else did we get. And we got Queen of Discs, which I like, and I like for us. And I really think that Aquarians, even though they want to identify us as the Queen of Swords, I meditated a lot on that, guys, and I really think that we are Queen of Discs. Yeah, I know this belongs to Earth sign, but Aquarians are something that most air signs are not, and we are very pragmatical. And I think that's because we are a fixed sign. We kind of like build that system, and we really quickly know if the brick fits, if it's going to work properly or not. So something I believe is off, because it says this is the romance of a lifetime. Maybe somebody is approaching us. This could be a Queen of Discs for somebody. Somebody's like a marrying kind. It's general reading, so it could be male or female. Could be basically Earth sign coming our way. But we kind of like have our hesitations about it. That's the worry about it. Like, I mean, it's really this card. Look at this reversed, inverse pentacle, and it kind of like, when Aquarians start to worry, Aquarians are always going this like downward spiral, right? Any Aquarian over here? Hi, Isa. Anybody else Aquarius? Knitting Yogi has Aquarius rising. And sometimes it's really hard to get through it. So how to get through it this week is talking about just kind of like take one day at a time, pamper yourself, do some kind of really nice things for yourself, weed out people who are beneficial and people who are harmful, because 3 of Wands is this card of ships. And look at here, like it's kind of like creating this like beautiful crest and this beautiful flame. So we are kind of like coming back to where we really need to be, like moving in a new direction. We are going through this reestablishing strength. So it was maybe just like, I mean, quick gap and quick fall down, but it still means that we are still going to move forward and we are going to go in a new direction. So Aquarians, I would not fret much about this initiation of the week, because things are going to get better and things can really build up really nicely from there, just if we open to any of the possibilities, friendship, relationship, partnership, like things are possible for us. And don't stand in your own way, okay? That's really, really important over here. So Barbie is saying we are going to do doors next. So we'll do the doors, and then I'm going to pull the cards for mods right after it. So let me hide this for a second. Let me take this. Okay. So what's going to happen here? It's going to be door on the left, door in the center, and door on the right hand side. Did I remove this? I didn't. Let's remove this. Oh, let me take the cards out. This is the first on the left. This is the center. And this is on the right. Okay, so let's remove this so guys you can now see what I see, and let's go. So for those of you who took the left door, so let's see what the answer is. Page of Cups. The answer is yes, but it's also saying don't put all eggs in one basket. This is like something new, and it's something that still needs to kind of like be developed, but it's going to flow in that direction. for the doors who took the door number 2 is the Lovers. And this is like about unity. This is about negotiation. This is about choice. And if you ask if somebody's choosing me, will my negotiation will move forward? Will we reunite? The answer is yes. It's a major arcana card, so that is also going to be very, very important in your life, and it's a really kind of like going to feel very, very comfortable. And for the door number 3, the answer is also yes. Strength card means that you need to bide your time, that you need to kind of like be very diplomatic in the situation, that you need to show strength, even though, so that possibly means that somebody's going to initially say no, but your stoic behavior is going to make them turn around, and the answer ultimately will be yes. And it's also going to be very, very, very beneficial. So yes, and now my mods are going to get their cards and what their spirit guides are going. So let me scroll back, and I'm going to go in the order of appearance. What's this? Oh, I can even pin messages. I didn't even know that. So Nathan Yogi was first. So she gets her. She's a Virgo sun with Aquarius. Virgo sun, pardon me. Aquarius is rising in Cancer moon. So let's see here. The message for you is compassion. And that's really lovely. And look at these hugs. And it's kind of like understanding and caring for somebody even if you don't necessarily believe what they are doing is right. And this is like, to me, one of the highest form of love. So it's really, really nice to see that. The next appearance was by Barbie. So Barb, let's see what you see. You are getting support. Somebody's going to put your shoes on. Somebody's like you can rely upon. You're almost like getting, I don't know, like, you know this movie, like, I mean, did they play around Christmas? What is this movie called, guys, with Jimmy Stewart, when the angel gets the wings, right? So kind of like that image crossed my mind. So there's going to be something, Barbie, you will do that you're going to get your angels or, you know, some support of a major kind. So just be alert how you behave, very, very important. So who is next? Chris is next here. Chris. Oh. Spontaneity. And that's what you have been doing. And this is like awesome. This is like very unusual for Capricorn. What are your other stats, Chris? I just don't have them here on hand. But this is absolutely lovely. Chris is Capricorn, and look at his ability to dance and kind of go with the flow. It's kind of like a sense of adventure. So that's really kind of like getting out of that Capricorn shell, because it's very controlled generally. So who is next? The next CBO Music became a mod, so she's going to get her card. And it says simplicity. Yeah, that KISS principle, it's so hard, right? Like we started being so complicated. You should see my interior design renewal ideas. It was like all maximalist kind of ideas. I'm going to put this wallpaper here, I'm going to put wallpaper here. And I got so tired of all of that stuff. In the end I said, no, I'm going to paint everything white. And kind of like it suits my mind doing this. So this is kind of like clearly she has like her hands down, she has her wings down, so it's just kind of like almost like non-engagement, just kind of like go through it. Maybe turbulence is not something you want this week. And do I have anybody else that I forgot? Let me know if I did. I don't think I did. I'm just scrolling down, and I think that's it. Mods are going to get another message later. But we are going now in the second half, so let's do that. Keep your head up, CBO. So the next one is Virgo. So there we go, Knitting Yogi. That's your sign. But you know, guys, on live that you're getting messages from every sign, right? Because that's pretty much how they work. They connect with you. And like took me for a while. I don't know if you guys remember when I had the crawling shadows and babies on the table for a while, and then it was this woman who just showed up from nowhere from Argentina, And she said, these are the souls trying to crawl to light. They're coming to you to help them. So I kind of like did certain ritual that she recommended and buried those souls properly, and it stopped. It was just like really, really amazing. So Virgo. Virgo. Let's see, what do we have over here? You have playfulness. It's like one of those lovelier cards. And this card to me is like so much of a unity of that innocence, which kind of like Virgo represents, and passion. I don't know if you have an Aries or somebody who is like very much like that. It says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And I think really Virgos are currently going through a shift, and that shift is basically tectonic. It's the entire plate moving forward, because Virgo's structure is to organize. Virgo structure is to create meaningful things even in small things. But I really think that Virgo is really tired of not getting recognition for holding this freaking whole thing together. And that's why this is coming through and saying, okay, you know what? Look, I mean, if I'm living this 3D experience to learn something, let me have some fun. And that's kind of like really, really good to kind of like see that. So, ooh, cards are just falling through, getting lots of it. You have the Queen of Cups, upright, but then you're getting the Lovers reversed, and then you're getting Adjustment, upright, and then you have Luxury, which is the Four of Cups, then you have Three of Swords reversed, and then you have Ace of Wands upright. So this maybe tells me there could be somebody, it's either you or somebody who has been in your life with whom you maybe, it just got too much. It just like got to the point of maybe status quo, got to the point where you couldn't move forward. And maybe you even broke up with somebody. If you haven't, it's kind of like looming over you. It kind of like really feels there's like this natural ending coming through. And it could be that it was like more people involved. It could be like dishonesty. It could be cheating. It could be that was you who kind of like strayed aside because certain atmosphere was like not tolerable. And I'm not here being judgmental by kind of like any means. So keep this in mind. So certain things, if they haven't already, are coming to an end. But for you kind of like to kind of like call it, or somebody call it, it's actually opening a huge opportunity for you. You know, like, I mean, for me, like when one door kind of like shuts down, sure, you can have to spend a day or two licking your wounds, but after that, like another door opens up, which can be like way better. So what's hiding behind this door for you? Like you have Adjustment and you have Ace of Wands. This actually could be the same person coming back at this stage with a big apologies, which is stage saying, okay, I was wrong about that. This is going to change. I'm going to be more transparent. Things are going to really move forward. Or it could be somebody completely new for you, which could mean possibly Libra sign or air sign and fire sign. Ace of Wands always is a card that really talks about this big renewal and picking yourself up. And that's why I can talk about the people from the past, which wouldn't be a big surprise for me now during the Mercury retrograde. Like, I mean, a whole bunch of people are creeping up and telling things, and kind of like things are getting renewed. And there is a reason for that, because then we can finalize it. We can wrap it up and say, hey, you know, like things actually can work out this time around, right? So that's kind of like really, really important here to know. So good going, Virgo. Lots of things, lots of messages that came through for you. Remember, playfulness is something that is going to carry you through possible crisis and make you kind of like have this like really, really light trouble. So let's see. Oh, Isa, it's very sweet. That's very true. Well, thank you very much. You're depressed a little bit? Oh, I'm so sad to hear that. But that's the pandemic depression I think most of us are feeling, or suppression, which is turning out into depression, and that doesn't help. Scorpio. Let's go with Scorpios next. And let's see. Your birthday is coming up, so Happy birthday, Scorpio, and really hope that you're setting up a whole bunch of new things and new resolutions, because like we're also going now through new moon in Libra, and this is actually really good for you. Scorpio and Libra get along really well, and that's kind of like one of those rare combinations that actually succeeds. So it's really good for you guys to set your intentions out, and it's really something that can come through. So Scorpio, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Of course, sex comes to mind, because for you, like, there is like kind of like level of engagement that you need, and it's not because of sex, and that's where it's misunderstood, but it's because you really need this connection. To you, it's kind of like almost like direct kind of access to somebody's soul. So there's like something here that doesn't feel it's traveling properly. You also have Princess of Swords reversed. Either you're like becoming like a little bit of a psycho or stalker, or somebody is over here. Maybe you are leaving a situation and somebody's like definitely wanting to see, like, maybe you're dealing with somebody with a really big ego who cannot take that at all as kind of like, I mean, finality of some sort. So be very careful what you post on social media these days, this week, and how to really go in this direction. So you're getting also strength, 9 of Wands, you're getting 4 of Cups, luxury, and you're getting Ace of Wands. So I feel that somebody will be manipulating situation. Is it you or is it somebody else? We are yet to see that. This is like too general for me to really know this. But based on that manipulation, there is like some kind of like renewed activity about all of that, right? Because I can see here this finality. I can see here saying, okay, you know what? I don't think we can continue going the way we should be going. But somebody is managing to get you to promise, okay, let's try it one more time. So there it is, like you're trying it one more time. So this is like more or less one of those readings to be continued, to see in which direction it is going to go and how it is going to go. So how this adds to 5. So it's going to have some kind of like playful, it's going to have a sexual component, it's going to, the problem is like somebody here is expecting drama, or maybe there was like, I mean, some kind of like exchange of words that has been uneasy. Somebody's being told that he or she is too controlling, and that's something that needs to be reassessed, because it's going to keep repeating. This kind of like reminds me of this pattern, right, that keeps going, and you have ability to make this stop, because this time is going to go just one more round before it's going to go to a head. So whatever it is, there is an opportunity to fix it. So we are going to see how it is. So great, your guru said hang in there, Isa. I think there is like some rough energy in the air right now. Yesterday and today I have felt depressed. I don't think it's my feelings, could be psychic attacks. Yeah, I felt kind of like weird yesterday as well. It was off, but then it doesn't help. I don't know where you guys are. On Thursday it was like raining the whole day and wind. It felt like late November, December, but that's always before Halloween, right? When you have all this rain, so all this decorations you can put out can just fall apart, kind of a thing. So yeah, it's the time of the year where we kind of have to kind of like go more inside. Even today, Tiger, I noticed he was a little bit depressed. He was not really running the way he is. He's a smiling dog, and he always like lifts up his little pretty head and smiles at me. But today was like, oh, I don't feel like kind of running around. So I don't know what it is. Like, it is something in the air, that's for sure. Even my coaching clients report the same thing. It's something we have to deal with. This pandemic is really hard on all of us. So we need to find that strength, and that's why I really did go back into the weeklies, because it's really important to kind of carry this message and say, it's for a week, let me live with this, and then let's see where we go. So just, write to me and we can connect, and I can definitely try to help about that. So CBO, she goes like, no more drama, lovely. Are you kidding me? You Scorpios thrive on drama. It's kind of like awesome thing is like something is happening. It's just like for the rest of us, we go to the movies. You have the movies at home, and you can create this. So that's gonna be cute. Both of our exes are watching our social media during this move. Jealousy. Yep, that somebody will be watching, and be careful. They'll be taking screenshots and using that against you. That's for sure. Cancer. Cancers are next. Let's see what we get there. Cancers. Look, I love when Scorpios complain about drama. It's just like, come on. Like, I mean, I just really want to take the notes. If I ever want to become a screenplay, or what do you call it, this person who is writing like all this TV kind of like sitcoms and dramas, I would make sure that I kind of like invite myself to my Scorpio friends' houses and just kind of like write things down, because it's actually really amazing. I love Scorpios, right? So who am I reading for? Am I lost in the space? Who is this? Cancer. For a moment, I just lost it. So, Cancer, playfulness. It does make sense. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So let's see what else do we get with this. Barbie's like, Cancer, can't you see it? I put it up. I'm just looking at my little kind of like thing over here. Ooh, Cancer, you're a little devil. Isn't this like very phallic in Thought Tarot over here? Look at this, things are happening. Are you Cancer planning to make babies? Or usually with the Devil card, babies just come, they invite themselves. So playfulness goes to and ends up in the obligation. So just, guys, you need to make minimal investment if you want to prevent that. Kind of, that's really important. This one wants to come out. Prince of Cups, that's a Prince of Cups, guys. And you have adjustment. So guys, honestly, I can really read this literally, which means that somebody might be coming through. This might be you, that you're ready to fly. Prince of Cups is like emotionally you're ready. Like there is like, I mean, right time in the right place with the right person. So stars finally line up. And there's like enough horniness in the air. The only thing that really bothers me about this card, the Devil, is that things are done for the right reasons. Things are done for the wrong reasons. So that could be the pregnancy that ends up in the marriage. That kind of like shows over here, right? That could be that you think sex and playfulness is all that really matters because it's really, really good. So there is like not enough glue, but the glue that it is like is so strong that it's not making you look at the other sides. But nonetheless, you guys, you're going to be very happy. You're going to be very sexually satisfied. And you just have to keep in mind that this actually can turn out into a major commitment. And as it grows, maybe you're going to start kind of like looking in the other aspects of the person that you're with and how you're with, and kind of like balance it out, because you got the adjustment upright. It is a karma card, and it is really something that kind of like works well, where two partners kind of like come around, they're more accepting, they're more balanced, and it kind of like works in a really lovely way. So you guys are going to feel comfort, very big comfort in this upcoming week. So that's kind of like really good for my Cancers over there. So who do we have? We have Aries, we have Taurus, and we have a Leo. So 3 cards, three of them. Let's pick this one. And this one is Leo. So let's see, Leo, what do we have here for you? It's a Wonderful Life. That's it. It's a Wonderful Life. And it's like the movie I watch every year, and like I've never have enough of these movies. I have to go back and watch the old movies. That was like so much more fun. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. I don't like this card, but you probably do. So let's go with this. Let's see what else I get in addition to it. Why I don't like honeymoon? Because it kind of like really caters to all the low instincts. When it's pretty much the episode of a Bachelor or the Bachelorette. Like there is like a setting and there are candlelights, and you can tell I'm not romantic, right? And somebody's wooing you and doing you, and you are a little tipsy, so you're supposed to kind of like go for this, where in reality you just have like, I mean, rose colored glasses, and you know, like maybe things are not as they appear. But currently, you're really enjoying that bliss. And sometimes that's all that's important. Sometimes that bliss is the healing energy of some sort. This could be meaning that somebody's coming through that looks really rosy and kind of like really kind of like amazing. So you have Ace of Wands, which could mean that somebody from the past is coming through, or that you have renewed energy in something, in possible relationship. I mean, this is like this beautiful gondola in Venice. If you guys ever have been in Venice, this is like far from romantic, because this channels are smelling from sewage, and they're kind of getting flooded, and this whole freaking town is sinking. But okay, fine, it's romantic as long as you can ignore this like few little kind of like visual and olfactory kind of like, I mean, symbols over here. You have the Six of Pentacles reversed, and it's called in taught success. Now, this is important because this comes down to how much you value yourself. While it's good to enjoy the romance, this one wants to come through. While it's really good to enjoy romance, look at this. There is like some kind of like soulmate-y kind of like thing in all of that, but there's also a spiritual lesson coming through. Six of Decks to me is like the card of give and take, and it's really a card that is connecting to that sense of generosity that Leos have, and it's really huge. You guys, when you are flattered, when people really talk nicely to you, you are going to take down freaking mountains to do things for them. And this is not so much vanity, it is like really genuine generosity. But if somebody steps on your tail, that's a different story, but we don't have stepping on the tail story this time, so I'm going to skip that story at this stage. So, in this card, when it reverses, it's really a realization that you have been a benefactor, and you have been giving and giving and giving, and things really maybe didn't come back to you. That somebody felt that give and take means, oh, I just take and you give. And there is like the realization of certain imbalance, which I see over here with the Six of Cups coming through, and it's coming that somebody from the past is coming through, and you're actually going to love it. But at the same time, you're going to set the stage right. It could be that you started with someone and that didn't go anywhere because the moment when you removed this like rose-colored glasses, like the person didn't look that great, or things kind of like went off, or it was kind of like one night thing that you read more into it than it is, something like that. It could be there is like some kind of a revival or renewal of some sort. If not, it feels, this whole week will feel for you, I have seen it before, kind of deja vu very much. I have seen it before. I have dealt with it before. I really have to see how to approach this. This is clearly one of the cards that can talk about this Mercury retrograde and people peeking from the past. So, hey guys, just like I'm in the word of advice, don't be scared. You have conquered the lesson, and you are going to recognize this person by this obvious inequality. Is just like, I mean, somebody wants something on his or her terms, but you are so basically confident in yourself that you're not going to care. You're going to say, you just cannot harm me. I will go forward. I will do what I want, and they're going to get the message. And I think getting that message will make them realize that they are small, and that make them realize that they have to turn around, and that's going to be really, really interesting. So, okay, CBM Music, good to see you. Love to see you. So, yeah, try to kind of like be kind of like subtle and kind of like not to do anything. Let me just get the card, one more card for you, which I'll do for the rest later if you're still here and you're having a purpose. So keep an eye on the goal, keep an eye on what is important for you, and kind of like go with that. So that's going to be important. So we have two more signs, and this one is going to be Aries. So Aries is, oh my gosh, what am I writing here? Okay, Aries, this one going to come through. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. It's really talking about the full moon process. Why is this happening right now during the new moon for you? It almost like tells me you engaged in a process that is still going to work for a while, and the next 2 weeks for you could be that you're exposed to that kind of like energies, right? So generally this card really talks about somebody who just wants to release all of these negative energies and all these loose ends. So what she does, she kind of like writes all of them, and it's kind of like a big title. I want the following to go, and column, and then list, and then you come into the full moon and you just like burn it. You don't take a picture of it because it means again containing it. You just burn it, you let it go, and you burn it as many full moons as you need to until it's kind of like gone, over with. You clear these things out. So release your ex clearly means that there's like some kind of like energy of some sort. It is really not working properly in your favor. And look at this, you're getting a whole bunch of cards over here. So having a Princess of Wands, that could be you guys. So it's like real exuberant energy. The Hierophant could be something about marriage. Maybe there's like something about, maybe you're either engaging in a new relationship or you're still dealing with some remnants of an old relationship of some sort, because there's like lots of confusing messages. It talks about marriage, it talks about love, it talks about seriousness of some sort, something that you really believed, but then possibly some argument got in the way, and argument caused suffering and possibly even inability to continue forward, because that card means the way it is and how it's started to deteriorate, it's not really a good direction. So then you have like this work endeavors. To me, this Three of Pentacles is more or less like teamwork. It is work, and meaning like you're trying to patch things up. So this also could mean that you don't necessarily are releasing the entire person, but you're releasing certain aspects that's kind of like a festering inside of you that you need to deal with, that you need to kind of like really focus in it. And kind of like it's the energy that, I guess what you don't like, because we have like the Princess and Prince over here, so it will be this like Knight of Wands reversed if you wish. But this is the energy that it kind of like moves very fast and very slow. Almost like you want to dance with somebody, and somebody wants to dance rumba, a very small, slow dance. Another person is dancing salsa, so you can never find that rhythm together. That kind of like you can kind of like go in that direction. So you guys are kind of like feeling that you're stuck in a situation where you feel awkward. You feel no matter what you do, it's just like you're doing the wrong thing, right? It's kind of like square peg in the round hole kind of a week. And that's because certain things need to stop, need to kind of transform, need to kind of like be different. So this is one of those warning cards that says, look, you really need to now stop and look into the matter. Something needs fixing, because if it's not fixed now, it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to do it later. Then like eventually you go from 13 to 14, which is Temperance, which is telling you, okay, come on, give it another chance. And then going to 15, where you're saying, okay, well, sex is okay, I should stick around. And then you go to 16, which is Taurus, saying, okay, nothing is holding you back. You have to, you're ordered to redo it. It's kind of like really shaking this whole structures up. So this is like one of those gentle reminders, hey, you can do it yourself. But also this is telling you that you really need to do a little kind of like structures that are society made structures, which could be morality, which could be things. So there is like certain kind of like rigidness that kind of held you together, but now that you're resenting, so you need to kind of like really figure out. It's really interesting that you have Hierophant and Death here. There's like two fixed signs, so it's almost like you're rebelling against something that has been there, that has provided a structure, and you just cannot take it anymore. There's like something that really bothers you, and you're getting to this point where this cannot be contained anymore for one reason or another. Okay, so we have Taurus left, I believe. Let's make it official to open your card. So there is Taurus, Taurus. Okay, so let's see, what do I get here for you? Taurus. Deception. Again, like, I mean, it's going to, like, usually this card shows up, it's either talking about relationships that are not going deep enough, and this cannot be Taurus. Taurus doesn't tolerate lots of superficiality, or can really talk about a work relationship of some sort, right? So where certain things need to be addressed, or you just cannot be yourself, you have to be fake of some sort. You have completion, you have Four of Wands. It's really interesting because this is the card that really talks about the next level. And look at how we have the Aries over here, and we also have the pigeon over here, kind of like carrying it through. It's kind of like a Venus dominated card. To me, this card always means going to the next level. So are you going to lie to yourself? So it looks like you're in a situation where you're already, let's say, fake, and there's already something happening, but this is now pushing you to the next level. So this is a very important message for those Tauruses who have been born in April. You also have the Chariot. So guys, be very, very careful. This is Mercury retrograde, and when the Chariot reverses, it can talk about car issues, transportation issues, slip and fall accidents, things not really working out the way you want them to work out. So make sure you have air in your tires, that you have enough oil, that you have enough room for braking. Because even though if you think you still kind of like make this extra, it's when this card shows up during Mercury retrograde, I really, really need to warn you. And maybe this is why deception kind of like showed up and says, look, it's not what you think it is. So give yourself this extra time. So do me a favor, because this is really, really big thing over here. It's telling you some new beginning, and sometimes new beginnings happen as a result of stagnation, as a result of kind of like letting go of some sort. And to you, this is a big letting go moment. All these cards add to 12. 12 is the Hangman, and 12 is understanding how things look from a different dimension, how things look like from somebody else's. So deception means that you need to admit to yourself that you haven't been completely tried and true, and that maybe somebody else isn't either. That you shouldn't be kind of like putting this like rosy spin on everything, which I think we already know. Maybe this simply means that you are saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to come forward, I'm going to say what I have to say. I just don't want to play this like card game with sweaty palms. Things need to happen in a good direction, and it looks like it's ending well. And because you're getting this Ace of Wands, and this Ace of Wands simply means yes, it's a new renewal, certain things are moving forward, and now everything is okay, and everything kind of like works out okay. So Barbie's already saying, come on, let's do the doors, ask a question. So we'll do the doors, and I'm going to pull cards for the mods that are still here, and that's going to be for this Saturday. So let me close this down so you can guys think Think very hard about the question that you want to ask. Let me first mark it down where this really is, because I usually forget writing this up. So let's grab this. Think of the question. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Okay, there's one card is here. Another is here. And another one is here. Okay, let me reveal this and let's see what we have. If you guys have your question and you ask for this door, you're getting the world. This is like resounding yes. So something needs to become stabilized, and stabilized will become, and it's going to move forward. It's almost like you will never have to worry about this anymore. So it's really not only accomplished, but accomplished really, really well. For door number 2, I have 3 cards. We have Ace of Pentacles, we have 9 of Wands, and then we have 5 of Swords reversed. So there is going to need to, you will really need to fight for it. This can be a situation that indicates more than one person. It can indicate that one person is extremely dedicated and kind of like wants to get their way. But it also can indicate that there is like a person here who is wrecking this whole situation, who simply wants to kind of like win at all costs. And that can be a very problematic for kind of like things moving forward. So keep that in mind. So is this a yes or no? I cannot tell. At the best, this is maybe, and that's because of this 5 of Swords coming through. This is somebody who wants to win instead of looking for the truth, instead of looking for a solution. But there is going to be somebody else who is really willing to work with you. So it's almost like, looks like you have a partner, and this partner has another family, ex-family, or somebody else on the side. And even though this partner really wants to kind of like make things happen and wants to make promises, you know these promises cannot be made without kind of like clearing certain issues that need to be cleared. So hence, kind of like this story is to be continued. And we have another karma card here for the door number 3, and this is also resounding yes, but it's also saying, like, I mean, just act on it right away because it's going to work out. But if you really wait for it, this wheel can come down and then you have to go in the next cycle. So if you just immediately go and work on it, it's a big resounding yes. Okay, so this is it from me. I just want to kind of like grab it for my mods and see kind of like what else you get as the messages. So Barbie goes first. And you're getting harmonies. It's a birthday girl getting harmonies. Everything is going to be well at home with sisters, brothers, family, daughters. And I don't know if you go to church, but things can actually really kind of like work well. And this is almost like music to any Libra's ear. So that's really lovely. So then I have Knitting Yogi over there. Sibia Music already got hers. So, Knitting Yogi, I'm going to go. You're getting compassion. Is this like, did you get this the last time? Who got this? Like, I mean, or was it Barbie? Well, that's that high level of love that I consider it. It's kind of like a full acceptance of something. You're going to be somebody's rock, or you will need somebody to be your rock this particular week. So that's clear message coming through. Who is next over here? I think I have Chris, and you're getting commitment. There's like some kind of writing, Chris, and candlelights, and I don't know, there's a job, there's a person, there are like issues coming through, and this is really, really important. So Knitting Yogi, what are the freaking chances? Look at how many cards I have here, and I was like really digging it through. So that message is really coming. So did I miss any of the notes here? What, something fell on the floor? Who did I miss? What did I miss? If I did, I CBO got it. I think I covered everybody. If I didn't, please, 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 please speak up. Yep. Okay, guys, so this is it from me. So I really hope everybody has a wonderful week. There are lots of messages, and it looks like the common messages to tie it all up is that we really need to there's like something happening with this like closing of Libra and going in Scorpio, that we really need to kind of like set kind of like higher rules, that we really need to kind of like be and work our best. So that is going to be very important in the upcoming weeks. So I'll see you next week. I can't wait. But CBO, I did draw the card before she left, so I feel okay with that. So you guys have a wonderful week. I'm going to play some short music for us to just say goodbye and bye-bye. And until next Saturday, hopefully to see you there, and hopefully I'll see Kylie. Oh, I want to get one for Kylie. So hopefully Barbie can put that message for her. I'm going to put just the stamp here because she did notify me. And Kylie is getting patience, just things are in the process, things need to be done, and things will happen. So there you go. So that's the message for Kylie. Have a good week, everybody. Have a great is it Halloween? No, we are going to speak before Halloween. And let me know if you can in the comments how it went, how the messages work out. If not before, I'm going to talk about it next week, next Saturday. Love you, and here's the music, and I'll see you next week. All the best, guys. Let's put this like ending screen and stuff. It didn't show up. That's weird. Maybe next week. Love you guys.